Hi, my name's Ralph Ferrett. I'm recording a campaign video in my campaign to be elected as Divisional Rep for the South Wales Southwest Division. And I thought today I'd record a little video where I introduced myself to you all and explained a little bit about what I currently do in the union and also about what my experience within the union is. Because I want people to have confidence that if they vote Ferret in this election, they're going to get somebody who can hit the ground running from day one. So to start with, what I currently do in the union is I am the branch secretary of the Plymouth and East Cornwall and Mall. That's a position that I've held for the last 10 years. I was first elected in 2013. When you are a branch secretary, you're something of a generalist. You do a little bit of everything in the union. So you do a lot of the administration of the union's general functions. You sort of deal with how your branch deals with other branches and CWU headquarters. But on a day-to-day basis, what you're mostly doing is you're mostly supporting the reps within your branch. Now, Plymouth and East Cornwall is a branch that's quite rural and spread out, and we have the lion's share of our members in deliveries. So whilst I've done a little bit of everything, most of my time as branch secretary in IR has been spent on delivery related issues. So me and the area delivery rep, Dougie, work really, really closely. Some people say we're like an old married couple, and we work together to deliver on the interests of our delivery members every single week. So that's lots of stuff about revisions and post-implementation reviews when revisions go wrong. I'm heavily involved in dealing with when we have issues about annual leave for our members, and of course on an constant basis where our members are being attacked by management in the workplace. And it has to be said that members in deliveries get attacked probably more than anybody else because the business see them as the whipping boys. So on an ongoing basis, that's mostly what I spend most of my time doing. But I've got experience of all of the areas of sort of Royal Mail IR because I work with all of the reps in my branch. I've done a lot of work with our area distribution rep, a lot of work with our area processing rep. I've done stuff with the MDEC, with customer experience, with the people who are admin workers. You know, I've had experience in this role in the last 10 years of doing pretty much everything. In terms of my background within the union, I started for the company in 1999 and was basically recruited to be an activist straight away. I had a bit of a reputation as a big mouth at school, and somebody told the rep in my parent business unit that they probably wanted to get me involved in the union to make sure I didn't cause any trouble for them. So I've been continuously an elected CWU official since autumn 1999. The following year, I was elected to be a unit rep. So I've been doing IR from then and I did the IR role from then until 2013 when I became the branch secretary. And of course, when I became the branch secretary, I gave up the positions I had so that new people could come through. While I was being an IR rep in that time, I didn't just do stuff locally. In the business unit I worked in, which was customer experience, the national officer I worked to was a guy called Andy Fury, who you'll probably know now is the acting DGSP. In that time, I was co-opted to work on a number of national working groups, and I was also part of Andy's national negotiating team for a couple of agreements that the business were looking to bring in. So as well as sort of local level experience, I've actually had the sort of global level experience working for CW headquarters trying to negotiate agreements with the employer, albeit in a reasonably small business unit. So I've got some of that national experience. As well as being the local rep, I was also a field official previously. From 2005 to 2013, I was the regional safety official in my business unit. So I've already had some experience of doing a role that covered a much, much larger patch than you'd have at branch level. As well as doing all that IR for all of that time and all of the industrial relations stuff, I also was heavily involved in the union's youth movement when I was young enough to qualify. And for 2 years, I was respectively the vice chair and then the chair of the National Youth Committee. And what that meant was for 2 years, I sat on the postal executive, and for 1 year, I sat on the national executive. So I've got an awful lot of experience of basically everything that the union does. And I think that's important that you know that I'm somebody who's got experience of doing all areas of what the CWU does. A divisional rep needs to be a jack of all trades. They need to be able to multitask. They need to be able to do different things in different units and different business units. You've got to be able to keep a lot of plates spinning. And I wanted to be able to explain to you that my near quarter of a century of experience in this union, I think, has prepared me for that. Whatever happens moving forward, I think we all know that we're going to have an employer who is going to be very, very hostile to us in the workplace, whether this deal is carried or whether the deal isn't carried. The people who run the business do not want to have to deal with the workforce. They don't want to have to negotiate anything with us. And whatever happens, we are going to need somebody who is ready to fiercely fight your corner with the employer every day from day one. And if, as I hope you will, you vote Ferett, that's what you'll get from your divisional rep. So thanks very much for listening to me. I'm going to talk about some of the campaign issues that I have, what I want to bring as a divisional rep in the coming weeks. But assuming that everything has gone right technologically, then there'll be a link at the bottom of this page, this video, at least on Facebook, in which I'm going to have uploaded to my campaign newsletter a version of the manifesto that I sent out to branches when I launched my campaign. So you can have a look at what it is that I wrote to your branches and my branch and every other branch, saying if I'm elected, this is what I'm going to do. And I'll be trying to sort of like expand on some of those issues in the coming weeks. So as ever, I really thank you for taking the time to listen to me on this video. And I hope that when the ballot papers are dispatched that you can put an X by my name and vote Ferett. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.